As a bonus video, I'm going to show you now how with the sketching tools we have in Fusion and then the patch tool we actually can create a much better end caps. So I'm going to this rail sketch, going to edit, and first I have to imagine a line. For example, I move this point to there. So think about here we will have later our cap. And then I can maybe adjust this sketch a little bit. Now the main problem why the patch looks so terrible is because these lines come and then stop here, but if we would continue it, they would go this way. And to get better transitions, we simply need to make this line to this point already arc in. And the way how we do this is I click here at this point, the line, and then this handle I squeeze down, and you see this ring coming out. And you see when I rotate it, you can see actually how the curve changes its direction. Pretty nifty. And let's do the same here. There. Okay, now the problem is it doesn't look good anymore there. So then in this case now I have to adjust this a little bit there. And obviously this one has to be moved in more. So I'm making this one smaller. Okay. Maybe a little bit this way, a little bit this way. There, let's show the mesh again. And I have to do a little bit more adjustment here. There. And with this one here, I definitely need to move those control points. Probably at this point I have to move down more. There. See, I'm getting close again. Move this out. Yeah. Okay. Good. Stop sketch. And let's take a look at what my surface is going to do. Nothing exploded here, so that means maybe those parts didn't really move that much. Which is good. So maybe let's compare this model to this model. There I don't match it. Okay, there I don't match it. So let's see. So maybe here actually this line has to move up a little bit. So zip, 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 zip. Show me the axis ring. Don't show me this body. Don't show me this one. So here, this line, I move up. There, and this actually changed that surface a little bit. And looks like, which one is it? Is it 6 or 5? Yeah, so here, for example, now I would have to adjust the rings a little bit, but currently that's not really important because I'm working actually on the tip. So I got sidetracked, bad me. So let's go back to there. Okay. This doesn't look too bad, but maybe this one I would like to go a little bit to there. And I try to visualize how those surfaces flow. And ooh, what's happening there? So ring 1 needs to get a small correction. So edit, sketch, this one, move. Doesn't want to snap. Okay, move point you to there. There it is. And then, okay, one more time. This one to there. Okay. Stop it. And this part, okay, seems to that it got misaligned, so I'm just drawing this line again. That's just for my side rails. And the side rails I have to fix anyway, so not a big deal. Now, of course, this one starts to flip out and delete. It's fine. And before I continue, I'm just projecting or showing all those disks again to see if they're all good. Okay. Fine. So, let's make a proof of concept. Let's go to loft, pushing this one up to there, loft, loft, and loft, rail, and rail. Okay, let's take a look from the side. And there actually see already how the surface now is so much different because it arcs in. Now if we patch that opening now, it will look a lot better. So this one and this one, let's stitch it together. Let's take a look and just shade it. Okay, can you tell me where those edges are? Hardly, at least from that view. So it blends pretty well. However, from here, it's still, you can clearly see it. So we probably will have to do some adjustment there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now, because I'm going to rebuild those surfaces, and I have to ditch the side rails, I can actually also fix some of my curves or circles and actually make them also the way how they should look like. This one is complaining. Delete. You will be fixed later. Okay, so there we are. So I would say one of these rings or two has to be more elliptical. So maybe let's start with this one. So that is ring 7. Edit. Okay, you delete, delete, and then I'm just going to pull these things up for the moment. Fusion crashed, so some of those things disappeared. There. Okay, and no, midpoint. Show me the midpoint of this line. There. And maybe like this. Let's make this small because just the blade has to fit through there. So I'm curious, what is this distance? That's a centimeter. Okay, let's draw a line from there to there, back, there. Okay, you right mouse button, click construction, length, this line, 3mm 4. So probably later when we cut it there, it might be okay. So let's go stop sketch. That one is good. And now we have to work on that one. So this is ring 6. Edit. And here we do delete, ellipse, zip, oops, no. Center point to the outside point. Show me the surface. And looks like maybe this. Let's rotate the view. Yeah. Okay, good. Midpoint line there. Shoops. Right mouse button, construction. Okay, next sketch, that's 5. Edit. Nope. Midpoint, endpoint, surface. It's very meditating actually. Okay, that looks good. Midpoint, endpoint, click. There. Okay, so I just did construction there again. Stop sketch. So now you see actually how the cross section change quite interestingly. So before I do anything, actually at this point I want to see if I'm not going bananas here and deforming the shape. Oh, no. Apple click this one, just the edge. So don't click a point because it blends to that point. Didn't actually know you can do that. Okay, let's show the surface. Oh. Oh, it's actually not too bad. Okay. Cancel. So, okay. So I could touch up those rings if needed as well. Basically the same process. I'm not continuing this through the whole model because I think at this point everything got repeated so often so that you could do this actually by yourself. Now the next step is actually I have to recreate my site profile. So sketch this plane 3D include. Whoa. There's something bad happening going on there. So going to fix that actually, and then just in a second. There. And there. Stop sketch. And here is that cranky person. Ring 4, edit. So this line shouldn't really be there. So move this point to there. Okay. Okay, let's do this one more time. Right mouse button, move, point this one to there. Okay. So terrible if you use to click alias key shortcuts doesn't work in Fusion. It messes me up so much. And then when I go into AutoCAD and then if I go into Blender, yeah, fun really happens. Okay, so okay, something went wrong. That's okay. Edit sketch because this part here is out of whack. Click. Okay. And there we now have our points for the rail. So let's actually rename this one rail sides. Let's go to sketch. This point, there, and the last one. Click. Okay. Let's do this one more time. Zip. And boom. Click. Okay. Now I have to see now actually, can I maybe get these lines aligned to each other? So I'm drawing just, oops. So there, just create a line in between. Click, right mouse button, normal construction. So this is not visible. And now I want to force this line to flow into there. So I'm going to use a constraint. So constraints, tangent, this one to this one, this one to this one. Okay, so runs nice and smooth, but way too, it bellies out way too much, so dramatically too much. Okay, so now we have to actually adjust how those handles move in. And I can't click them. Oh, fun. So let's do this. Sketch, move. What's going on? Can't really click those handles, and if I right click on them and move, I don't have my move to. Let me pause for a second and see what's going on. Okay, so figured out how to do it. Click, 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 click. Yep, there and there. Okay, let's do the same for the other side. So what I need to do, you see those handles, and if they're not clickable, we simply have to make them touchable, which is kind of silly because we see them, or not touchable, we have to activate them. So here, there, click on this one, right click, activate, tangent handle. Ta-da! Okay, then we can click this one, go to move, and for example, move this one in. Now, you have to memorize the value. So for example, here I use -20. Because if I go to here, click this one, right click, activate tangent handle at this point, right click, move, and say zip at 20. There. Okay, let's take a look from here how this looks. Let's show the original part. Oh, interesting. My sketch here is way too wide. Okay. I don't fix this. Because at this point I would like to finish this session, because adjusting this one would just be a formality. Okay, so let's take a look now how all this feels when we say this ring, loft to there, maybe loft to there, and then let's start U, rail, U and rail, U and rail, U and rail. Okay. Click, click, and click. Let's take a look. Yeah. So this actually seems to be okay. Let's go to the top. Let's rotate maybe. Let's go to this view. Maybe they're progressing a little bit too much into it. So if I'm going to cap this opening with a curvature, okay. So it's probably going to be pretty bad. Okay, yeah, actually it is. So from here it could be okay, but there it creates some problems, and that's probably because those rails, so those here, I might have to go into edit mode there, and those points have to be moved more. Okay, so maybe -4. Let's see how this is going to work. Okay, stop. Not really good. Let's take a look there. Okay. So I guess the problem that happens here is simply how much the side surfaces bend in. And yeah. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, you have 2 seconds to guess what the problem is. The problem is I made those handles so they actually are tangent. So the surface flows this direction so it doesn't bevel out. So that was kind of silly for me. So this point actually has to look more like this. In case it would do it. There. Right mouse button. Please move. Okay, why are you not doing that? Oh, I still have the tangent constraint, so this one has to go. There, you, right mouse button, and zip. So I move this one maybe, let's say 2 millimeters up. And then I'm going to do the same here. 2 millimeters up. So I'm using the grid. So the surface now actually is flowing this way and not blending in between. And let's see. There. There. Okay. And now I can continue, adjust those rails even further. So for example, they could be a little bit more aggressive, even more angular. Let's take a look at the side. For example, you can see how much distance this stuff arcs. Here, this is pretty flat, and then zip, we force it over, which is pretty brutal. So I'm going to only on one side actually click this one, right mouse button. Maybe push this out 3, and maybe there. Wait. No, I don't know if I really did it exactly the same way. Okay, good. Let's do this one more time. So 4 and 2. 2 over 4 outside. Okay, let's see how this works. Yeah, gets better. Yeah, see? I can adjust that stuff. And that's pretty much how you create pretty nice caps in Fusion, by forcing actually the splines that come to an end actually to already arc into that surface. So in Alias, basically we would create something that's aligned to those arcs. We actually pre-build those splines already, so they're flowing this way. If this where is it here, if this arc we would continue, it would fly this way, and this one it would fly that way, which is why we get this really nice blend along that direction, and here, for example, the same with there and there. Oh, look at this, so nice. Okay. And yeah, so that was basically everything regarding Carmen's model. How to do it in Alias, how to do it in Fusion, and then actually how to perfect it in Fusion.